My bad. But this is part 5, I'm pretty sure. With a deck use Vampire from Blood Labs. I did it in a while. And all that. But we'll start this off. Wait. Okay, I'm done now. But we're going to start this off whenever a day after Uraraka's resurrection, you could call it. So, Deku's mother and father have to break it to Uraraka's parents of what happened, of course. But whenever they come into the house of Uraraka's family, they found corpses that are dead. So Uraraka's family was killed during this whole event of members that were not taken down afterwards or escaped before the cops came. So yeah, they killed Uraraka's parents, and Uraraka sees this and of course gets sad and all that. So who has to get care of Uraraka? It's Deku's parents. I'm pretty sure Deku is still like 5 or so, or 4. So we would just get to whenever Deku's parents decide to go to the big city and do hero work there. Whenever they move in the same area in a normal house instead of an apartment like they usually do, close to where Deku used to live in Main Cannon. And they would live there, and they would get sent to a kindergarten, or I'll say it's first grade now, where they moved, so they would sit there, and they would come into a class together with Uraraka and Deku. Could look related, their eyes and pale skin, except Uraraka has brown hair still, and Deku has black hair. But it comes on the same day, and they state their names and all that, and they would sit down. What do they do? Of course, people would try to talk with them, talking with Uraraka and Deku, they would ask first what their quirks are. Uraraka would say 0 gravity and something else, a vampire, and they would ask what Deku's is, and he would say original vampire, which would confuse them more. Then they will ask what's the difference between the quirks. Deku would say that, of course, mine's stronger, and if somebody dies after I bite them, or bites a corpse, I can turn somebody into a vampire. And I also have a sort of different power, sort of like magic than anything else added to mine. Of course, people would be sort of off-put, since this dude can literally bite people and bring people back to life, but other people think that's cooler, since he can bring people back to life, and they can become powerful. But of course, he didn't do it to Uraraka's parents, since Uraraka's parents, Uraraka said not to, so he just went with it. So yeah, other people think it's cool, and that's when they ask the question, are you related to Uraraka? Deku would say no, not at all. In fact, this is one of the reasons why I know my power does work. Turn people into vampires. Which they think so it is true. And all that. But of course, Bakugo would come over there in an explosion. saying, so you're just a vampire. Don't you have to drink blood? And aren't you not immune to the sun? Of course, that could say it's called sunscreen. It does burn. It Whenever you're exposed to the sun, it makes a vampire weaker. But that can be countered by blood. With them hearing that they actually do drink blood, which that would make everybody think they're villains and all that. But yes. So Baku says, so you are a villain, and slams a explosion towards Deku, with Deku smacking his hand, with Baku throwing another explosion at him, with Deku smacking it again. This would make him mad, and Baku continues to do it till he knows that Deku can smack away his explosions, and you go towards Uraraka, which Uraraka's enhanced body could see it, and all that, so she would just tap him in the shoulder, which would make him fly up into the air and be stuck on the roof, which Baku's explosions now are strong enough to move him a little closer, but of course, explosions are not enough to make him where he can get back to the ground. Baku will be stuck up there till the teacher tells whoever's court that is to stop. Uraraka would say release, and Baku would hit the floor, and he'll be hurt. The day would go similar, but with Bakugo trying to pick a fight with Deku every time my teacher is gone. So yeah. But this would be kind of Deku's and Uraraka's life for the rest of the time. Until it is... Oh my god, give me a second. I'm gonna clap somebody's ass. But yeah, this will be their life for a while until it is in middle school, 6th grade, so around 12 or 13 will be their age. And by now, Bakugo's personality has changed, but he's easy to make mad still, but not as easy. Like, if you just talk to him, he won't just start yelling at you and all that. And he kind of lost the personality of thinking that he's the best, since he has fought Deku a couple times throughout the years that had stopped happening a lot, but they still do it sometimes. But he thinks he's not the strongest, but he is really strong. He still has a higher standard compared to people, but he doesn't think he's stronger than everybody that ever faces him. He has Baku's personality still, but it's not as bad. But Bakugo, one day in this grade, he will come across Deku and Uraraka sort of training, since Uraraka still wants to become a hero and all that, and she has a better chance to do it now since she has a quirk from Deku. So yeah. But since she has a quirk from Deku, she'd also think it's kind of cheating compared to most people. So she tries to use her gravity quirk more and all that. And since it is the quirk from Deku, she will sort of get a magical pizzazz to it, which I'd say is an upgrader quirk to allow her to not really do too much gravity control, but I'll say your limit of increasing the gravity is 2 times gravity, which she uses on Deku during training and her herself, but Deku gets used to it faster, and she's still slow a little bit. So yeah, This can increase her punches or her weight whenever she drops. But she can also activate this technique, her zero gravity and far ranged, and her weight ability, I'll call it. It's pretty much gravity. Gravity. She has an actual gravity court. But yeah. But Deku is about the same as he was a kid. He can't really train as much since most of the time he can't use his full power. Only time he does that is whenever he's shooting a blast towards the ocean, and he would be splitting it. But with her gravity court, he just starts focusing on physical training. Of course, more than magical training since he can't go full power with it. But yeah, he hasn't created any new way to use it, and all he did was perfect the Kamehameha, which he has a whole story about, saying it took me 3 long years to master this S rank move, all types of stuff like that. But whereas Bakugo sees them training and how strong Deku's magic court can be, Deku has shown off his magic court once or twice, and one time he was messing with Bakugo and he jumped up and created his hand to sort of fly and made Bakugo jump for him and explode up there to try to hit him. So yeah, so he knows what the hand is, but he doesn't know all of his abilities. He knows some of his abilities. He has seen him do explosions from across the room and all kinds of stuff like that. But seeing his power unfold, he wants to get stronger, and swallowing the pride that he still has, he asks to train with them. With Deku in this timeline, he would say, "Oh no, the great Bakugo wants to train with me. Oh, it's my treasure, Lord Bakugo," which would make Bakugo mad. And he'd yell at him, saying, "Whatever, I don't want to train with you anymore." But Uraraka would say yes to him, and it would be fine. With Deku still in that whole kingdom stuff, "Oh, if the princess Uraraka says so, you shall come." So yeah, but Bakugo would train, and Bakugo would see how Deku does the Kamehameha, which he always knew that Deku was sort of a manga and anime watcher, pretty much. So, of course, Deku, being a fanboy of anime, he would see if Bakugo wants to try to learn it with his quirk. And Bakugo gets mad and tries to fight him, but of course Deku would dodge and grab his hands, put them together and tell him to shoot off explosions. Bakugo would be mad and do it, and he had told him to contain it and make sure none of it leaks out too much, which Bakugo wills, and he would tell him to shoot out his hands with Bakugo doing that, and they would create the EP shot, which Bakugo would name that, but Deku would name it the Red Kamehameha, or Kamehameha Wave. So yeah, Bakugo would drop by once in a while for these years until they're like 14 in 8th grade on the last day. On this last day, Bakugo decides for the 10 months training that's ahead of him, he would not train with them. Instead, he would train by himself, only training and getting stronger. and all that, Uraraka decides to get as much training in by Deku and all that. But on Uraraka and Deku's way to home after the end of the school day, they would run into the sludge villain. Running into the sludge villain. Of course, they would hear him coming from their enhanced senses under the sewage. They would kind of get ready and all that, but Deku wouldn't be scared, with Uraraka being kind of nervous if it's a villain. But the sludge villain would pop up, asking for their bodies, which Deku would just pull out his hand, or if it charges at them, and he would stop it. It's trapped, and he would clench his hand, with it being magic, and magic is magical. It would not just squirt the sludge villain everywhere, it would contain it, almost making the sludge villain sort of solid. It's more like a rubber ball than anything, it feels like, because the sludge villain will extend outwards and could pop off if you were strong enough to pop a rubber ball. But yeah. But the sludge villain would be freaking out, telling the kid to lay him down or I'll kill him. Which I'm saying that if I don't let you go, then you can't harm anybody. So I'm asking Naraka where's the nearest police station. I'll head over there. But she would point in the direction of one. And he'd say, okay. He would walk out of the whole area with them behind him. And he would run into, about to jump off. He would smack straight into All Might that would appear in front of him. With All Might saying, hold up there, kid. Were you rushing off in a hurry? And one question, have you seen a sludge villain? Deku would say, yeah, you talking about this guy? Pulling him up from behind him with the hands and all that. And stuff like that. And he'd be like, oh, thank you for grabbing him for me. You're a great help. And he would get ready to go off, saying goodbye. But of course, when he does this, he tries to pick up the sludge villain and he'd jump off in a hurry since he was late. With Deku thinking that he's an idiot, he must have thought since I grabbed it with my hand, he could grab it himself. With what happened is that he did grab it for a split second, but jumping off at that speed, he popped it in the air, spreading the sludge villain across the city. So Deku would jump off after All Might. All Might hearing him tell him to stop, and he would look at his hand, and he'd be like, where's the sludge villain? And they would land on top of a roof, with All Might saying crap, and he would turn into Small Might, with Deku smashing straight in front of him, saying that you can't grab the sludge villain with nothing with you without my hand like that. And he would say Small Might, saying, sorry sir, I was looking for All Might. Did you see where he jumped? With him saying, I am All Might, kid, explaining the story and all that. Which Deku would say to him, if you're gonna die from that, call me before you do. Which would confuse All Might, and he would ask that question. Of course, Deku changed the subject, saying that how long does it take you to get back your power to find the sludge villain? He'd say about half the time that I have for it. Only have it once a day. I can probably get back of 30 minutes in 30 minutes. Deku saying that's not enough time. Hearing an explosion. Whenever All Might tries to ask him again, what does he mean by that? Deku would instantly jump off, and he would create his hand, and he would sort of hover above everybody, and he would see the explosion. He would spin downwards. Without saying that Baku's strength of his explosions are stronger, but he can't escape from the explosion, so whenever he throws his strong explosion, it would singe towards the crowd and heroes, which Deku would pop in front of them, with his hand blocking it, with the heroes being confused because they thought they were just about to get hit by an explosion, with Deku laughing, and Baku exploding a piece over his mouth, saying, "I know that laugh. Is it you, Deku?" And he would laugh again, saying that, "How'd you get trapped by the sludge villain, Bakugo? Maybe I am the stronger one from both of us." With Deku jumping forward, swinging his hand, that would smash into the sludge villain, which would pop up the sludge villain. But Bakugo would block that, and he would throw explosion back at Deku. Deku blocking it too. With Deku laughing, with Bakugo not laughing with him, but he's saying, "Ha ha ha, I didn't need your help, Deku," and all that. You nerd, you geek, and all that. Trying to assault him. Deku's laughing. And the heroes see this and they're sort of confused. And they're just so eager just to try to get the sludge villain, which the sludge villain formed back with Bakugo and Deku. But Deku's putting his hands to his sides and clapping each other, with Bakugo knowing what he's doing, and he would do sort of the same move. And Bakugo would create a red ball, with Deku creating a blue ball, which would merge, which would turn purple, and they would have shot it. With what people see is a purple light beam smash into the sludge villain, going over it and popping it pretty much everywhere. And energy would shoot in the air, with a vortex appearing, making rain come. Which Bakugo would say I could have did that by myself, with Deku still laughing at Bakugo. Of course, the heroes would come up to him, telling Deku why he came and that was bad. While media is asking what their quirks were, with Deku pulling up a shield or a arm, and he would push them back, saying, "Bakugo, just say your quirk." With him saying it's explosions, with people instantly saying, "What about that red beam?" Bakugo would try to say he would say EP shot, and Deku would say AKA the red Kamehameha wave. I'm asking what Deku's quirk is. Deku would explain, or not explain his quirk, but he would just give them a vague explanation with 2 words, saying it's called original vampire. And that my move that I used was the original Kamehameha wave, with Bakugo exploding his hand, saying that you're stupid and you're just a nerd. But of course, they would congratulate him and scold him, because they did take down the sludge villain, while none of the heroes could do anything. So yeah. But this is where it's going to end off, with the story of 2 kids taking down a sludge villain. Goodbye.